We start the news tonight locally with this just heartbreaking story. It is every bit as terrible as you most feared.
It's even worse now. 54-year-old Jacquelyn Smith saw an East Baltimore woman in distress on a rainy and cold December evening, and she simply wanted to help. She rolled her window down in her car, and then she leaned out of the car. Within seconds, she was stabbed in the chest. WMAR 2 News' Brian Kubler spoke with the other two people in the car that night, and the pain that we all still can't comprehend. Brian?
Jamie, Keith and Jacquelyn Smith were celebrating his daughter's birthday at a VFW hall in West Baltimore Friday night. On the way to drop her off on the east side, Jacquelyn saw a woman in distress. She just wanted to help. Still dressed in the clothes she was wearing in the back seat of that car Friday night, Valeria Smith couldn't bring herself to leave her father this weekend at his home in Aberdeen.
I just want to make sure that my father is okay because, you know, he's never been through this. Now he's a widower. He hasn't eaten. He doesn't sleep. And, you know, I'm just worried about him. I'm trying to be strong for him.
But she, like so many, is paralyzed by the question, why? She says Friday night her stepmother saw a woman in need. Jacquelyn waved her over to the car and was about to slip her a $10 bill. Her husband, Keith, was at the wheel.
My wife just felt moved to give her something. So at the stop sign, she waved her over to come on over to the car, and then out of nowhere, some guy came over while walking with her. And I hit my window, and Jacquelyn went to hand the money out, and the guy just leaned over and said, "Can I thank your wife?" And I said, "You can thank my wife." And within that split second, this guy commenced to stabbing my wife.
Smith says the man then snapped the necklace off her neck while the woman grabbed his wife's purse. They ran off. Smith gave chase for a second before he says he heard Jacquelyn's screams. His wife, a mother of two sons, one in school, the other in the Coast Guard, she herself an electrical engineer with the Department of Defense, was mortally wounded. Smith raced her to Johns Hopkins, but she didn't make it.
Blood was everywhere. It was something that, it was horrific for something like that to happen. But I'm right now just absorbing all of it.
Absorbing how his wife, who just wanted to do good, was the victim of something so wickedly bad. A family now left to contemplate murder, evil, faith.
It makes me look at this whole world differently now. You know, it makes me look at everything and everyone. Nothing is ever what it seems. And you just have to protect your family out here.
Miraculously, Keith Smith is already thinking of what comes next here. He tells us he wants the city to pass a law banning panhandling and soliciting at every intersection in Baltimore. He says he's going to make that abundantly clear to the mayor and that the law should be named Jacquelyn's Law. Smith says he does not plan to give up until it happens.
Baltimore City Police are combing an East Baltimore neighborhood for clues after a Good Samaritan was stabbed to death in her car over the weekend. Her husband is now speaking out about what happened and warning other drivers. Devin Bartolotta has more.
Jacquelyn Smith and her husband Keith lived in Aberdeen but were in Baltimore Friday night for a party, never imagining the horror that would unfold in the hours after. The last night of Jacquelyn Smith's life, she and her husband Keith danced to their wedding song at a party.
She was just everything to me, my everything. We called each other soulmates.
Hours later, the 52-year-old was murdered on this East Baltimore block near Latrobe Homes. Police believe she was giving cash to a woman asking for money to feed her baby when a man approached the car window, pulled out a knife, stabbed her in the chest, and robbed her.
Snatched her necklace before I knew it, and the girl snatched a little pocketbook in the seat. And they both ran. I jumped out the car to run, but I heard my wife screaming, so I came back to the car.
Grab a detective.
Monday afternoon, city police recruits paired up with detectives, poured over back alleyways and empty lots looking for clues.
We're going to leave no stone unturned with respect to this case.
Interim Police Commissioner Gary Tuggle says this crime was likely premeditated and the pair was working together.
They're using this ruse as panhandlers to get the attention of their would-be victim. And we also want to caution the public about engaging with panhandlers.
Police are looking for a black woman in her 20s, medium build and about 5 feet tall, a possible drug user wearing a long brown coat and may have a baby. And they're looking for a black male in his 30s, 5'10", average build with a goatee and wearing a black hoodie. Smith, while hoping for their arrest, is now left grieving the loss of his beloved wife.
For anybody that's in Baltimore, be careful when we see these panhandlers out and get in close proximity to your car. Because like me, I'm from Baltimore. The last thing I thought that they were going to take my wife's life. And so now I got to live with that. I got to live with that every day.
Metro Crime Stoppers is offering a $2,000 reward for information. Anyone with information is urged to contact police. At Baltimore City Police Headquarters, I'm Devin Bartolotta for WJZ.